Let it go. Let it be. Let it roll.
Tonight we're super excited because we have a very special guest. But before we move into this, I would like to take this time to acknowledge all ancestors, particularly right here where we sit on Pueblo land, also known as Oga Poge Owinge. Thank you all for blessing us, and Happy New Year into the second month. Our hearts go out to all people out there, and our prayers go out to all people out there who are hurting, and we give love to all. This evening, we have Tessema Meredith-Miller. She is a multimedia artist of Samoan heritage and is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is pursuing a Bachelor of Fine Arts at the Institute of American Indian Arts. Originally from St. George, a small town in southern Utah, her work is deeply rooted in her Polynesian ancestry and cultural principles, i.e., the relationship with land and ocean, star navigation, and the importance of community. Please welcome Tessema Meredith-Miller. All right, Tessema, thank you so much for being with us this evening. I'd like to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll start with the questions. Thank you.
First of all, I just wanted to extend my gratitude to Indigenous Ways for hosting me and giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and my stories with everyone here. And thank you for everyone tuning in right now and watching. Where do I start? So I'm 26 years old. I'm based in Albuquerque. I've been there for the last 4 years. I'm originally from St. George, Utah. That's where I was born and raised, but I've kind of moved around a lot in my life, so never really been stuck to one area. I'm a personal trainer and fitness/dog enthusiast. I love volleyball. I love helping people. I like to describe myself as kind of like an introverted extrovert. If you know, you know. But yeah, I delve into basically anything I can create with my hands. I really as of recently, I've been really inspired just by my culture and family. But yeah, my goals right now are just to get through school, create as much art as I possibly can, and hopefully make some collaborations in the future, and just continue my work and continue teaching people. So that's my biggest goal right now. And eventually, hopefully, move back to Samoa someday. So it's been about a couple decades since I've been back, and I feel like at this time in my life, I'm so eager just to get back into it and absorb as much knowledge as I possibly can.
Thank you for introducing yourself. You're a student at the Institute of American Indian Arts. Most of us know this as IAIA. Tell us about your artistic expression there and what it feels like to be a student at IAIA in this time. There's so many new programs, buildings, technology, the science building, the gymnasium, the Performing Arts Center, the Black Box Theater. It seems like everything's just there for all of you, including lots of different disciplines you can immerse yourself in or just touch on to see if you like it or not. What's the experience like right now?
As of right now, I feel like IAIA is a pretty quiet campus. It's not very, like, you'll see people walking around, but it's not, I guess for me, I describe it as like peaceful because it's just there and it's so serene when you're just walking around, and there's a lot of inspiration everywhere, and it's amazing. I feel really grateful and blessed to just be in the presence of other really extremely talented artists and seeing how they express themselves in their art and how that represents where they come from, who they come from. That really inspires me to just continue my work of learning about my people. So my whole academic experience so far at IAIA has been really beneficial to me individually, and also finding where I fit in, and yeah, just making me think a lot more about community, even outside the scope of just my culture, and absorbing the cultures of other people and applying that to my life situations, my personal interactions, the work I create, my thoughts that I carry with me, sometimes even the dreams that I have. So yeah, I just constantly feel inspired every time I go to campus. And like you said, you know, you have access to the fitness center and you have access to all these really great studios with all this equipment that, you know, you can't really get anywhere else for a lot of the students that are there. So taking full advantage of that is also really fun, to just experiment and put your headphones on and just get lost in the creativity of the space. It's really beautiful.
So what has been your watershed moment and most artistic source of inspiration?
I guess my watershed moment was when I moved to New Mexico, because I had no plan. I wasn't even anticipating going to school. I was kind of in the mindset of I didn't really believe in myself, and I never thought that I would be a college student. So starting off my journey at IA, yeah, it just opened up so many doors for me and really, I guess, painted like a clear picture of who I wanted to become and what kind of person I wanted to be in this world, or for my community and the people I'm surrounded with. And a lot of my inspiration really comes from my family and from my culture, because as an adult, since coming to this school, I realized how much I didn't know, and that was a source of insecurity for me for a certain amount of time. But then I just decided to take a hold of that and, you know, take matters into my own hands and do research that related to me, and it made learning way more fun. And it just started sparking all these different ideas of visual imagery, of things that I wanted to create and teach other people about. And so it was a way of, yeah, I guess just like that cycle of learning the information and teaching it to others, and that just anchored it even more into my brain. And when I go back to my family, like, I try teaching them stuff that I learned because I get so excited about it, and it feels nice to have that privilege to go back to my family and to be able to share that joy with them. And it's, in a way, also kind of answers questions of, like, things about how we grew up. and the way that our elders had conducted things or the way they said things. And so it just pieced all of these different components together till it was kind of one of those aha moments for me. It was like, wow, now I really get like why they disciplined us or why they scolded us for these things, and how that really contributed to me being who I am today, and just being respectful to others, no matter the case, and just always being respectful to others, and also showcasing that in my art too. So,
Well, you have a beautiful spirit. You have an amazing presence. And I believe you're a powerful woman, that maybe you don't see it yet. And hopefully when you do see it, you'll be able to maintain the beautiful humility and integrity that you walk with today. Because you got a lot. The world is your oyster. I mean, coming from Samoa, sovereign nation Samoa, your ancestors. And this world, when I say this world, I don't mean the island Samoa. I mean this world. Your ancestors left for you. Do you plan to continue to spotlight their tracks with your walk, artistically or otherwise?
yeah, 100%. I feel in a way kind of obligated to carry that on and to honor them. And I feel that keeping them in memory is in a way like a weapon for strength. And it definitely gives me strength trying to incorporate that into any piece that I create, or even when I'm writing. But yeah, the more I learn, the more that inspires my actions to kind of be on that path of highlighting where they were trying to go with the foundation that they laid for us, as far as like values and morals and traditions, and treating others and just listening. So yeah, that's definitely something that was instilled into me by my parents and my grandparents. So yeah, I just feel very fortunate now to be able to kind of like recall on those memories as a kid and apply that to my life now as an adult.
Yeah, I was completely blown away when I went to Samoa in December, and so clean, no litter, totally artistic, beautiful. And what blew me away was the poverty for anybody living in Samoa would be to not know how to get those coconuts, get the roots out of the land, fish, get the beautiful nutrition that comes out of the earth, the plants. I mean, everything's there. The pharmacy, the medicine, the roots, the sea life, completely 100% sustainable. But for somebody to depend on stores in Apia, like what if the electricity goes down, or you can't shop in the store for whatever reason? But then you got the Samoans living in the backlands that are growing all their stuff, butchering their animals, and I was just so blown away. So I have a lot of respect for your people. Very honored that Elena took me there. It was awesome. So changing gears, what would you like to see from your youth today, you being one yourself, now classified Gen Z?
I guess I would like to see um, more youth spending time with elders, just because I really feel like there's so much we can learn from them, and like they're only going to be here for so long, and there's so much valuable information that they hold. So that's definitely something that I would like to see, of just taking care of them and taking care of the land and taking care of themselves. Because I do feel like, especially, well, from my experience and the people that I've met, that we're not really paying close attention to taking care of ourselves. And that could mean a lot of different things, from like mental health to your physical health, emotional health, and all of that. So, yeah, definitely to emphasize on just learning those stories from your elders, or just sitting down and having a conversation with them. So, yeah.
In looking at you, it feels like you're health conscious, because I see you on campus, you're in the gym and you're exercising, and seeing you eat healthy. And I don't see you as a big time partier that's staying up all hours of the night, drinking and driving. So I think that focus in the long run is going to serve you well, even though you might not see it, but you're on a very good path. What would you like to see from your elders today?
I guess I would, what I want to see from them. It's hard to say, because I'm always in the position of like what I can give to them, but it's hard. Like, what can they give to me? I guess like learning more from them, just to kind of relate it back to my last answer of just having more of their stories documented, and seeing that care and effort of my generation going in to be able to get those stories from them. Because, yeah, I'm sure that, like I said before, they hold a lot of valuable information that could help us in the future, and that could help us carry on. And so if we're not listening to them now, or helping them, or taking care of them, then we're missing out on those opportunities, not just for like selfish reasons, but for future generations as well. So, yeah, just more stories and listening to them.
I mean, I was so blown away when I went to Samoa, because there was zero English spoken on the island. So everywhere I went, I was just kind of like truly a visitor, going, this is really beautiful. And the vibe feels beautiful. The music's awesome. The dress, the art, everything. And I couldn't rely on an interpreter. Didn't have any. So I just got what I could, but I missed out on a lot because I don't speak Samoan. And what was beautiful is they didn't feel any need to accommodate me, because this is their language, this is their island, their Samoan flag, sovereign, all the science, English, math is taught in Samoan, the Bible's in Samoan, the church is in Samoan, the ceremonies, the music, the dance, and I just went, I don't think I've ever seen this before, really, because everywhere I go, there's just English, but not in Samoa. That was impressive to me. That's because I speak different languages. So, what would you like to see for your unborn people?
For the unborn people, I would like to see them living in a healthy environment, on a healthy land. I would like to see them continuing the work and continuing the tradition of the arts, the songs, the dances, taking care of the land and just keeping those stories and passing them forward, because they're really inspiring. They really, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but after learning those stories, it really just opened my eyes, and I feel like it really humbled me of how to conduct myself and how I wanted to be in this world. So yeah, I definitely want to see that for the unborn future generations, of just them being able to experience ultimately what our ancestors had intended for our communities, and that's to be together, be strong, and stay rooted in your spiritual practices, traditional practices, but also at the same time learning how to cooperate and coexist with other cultures and learn from them in a positive way, and working together, because it's I feel there's a lot of what's going on in the world right now. It's pretty ugly and it's sad, but there's definitely that group of people out there who are fighting to, you know, have more peace and more community that's genuine and honest and not filled with, you know, negative intentions, or trying to blindside people. So yeah, just being able to set that trend or that example for people who are older than you, people who are younger than you, of just being better and contributing to your family, serving your family, contributing to your community, and ultimately contributing to yourself.
Does creating art help define or help you understand yourself in a different kind of light?
Yeah, every time I make a new piece, it definitely, I surprise myself of what I'm able to create, or how those images translate through my brain onto the medium that I'm working with. And it kind of puts strength and inspiration in me to continue and to do more and to improve and to work on those skills and how to apply the concepts of, you know, my family and my culture, how to work that into those mediums, because those definitely also help. I feel like my family helps me define who I am because of my role in my family and how I serve them and how I interact with them and try to make an impact. So yeah, I do mostly drawing and photography. But recently I've been working with metal and other mediums and experimenting and just exploring. So yeah, I feel like every time that I have a finished piece, it definitely is like looking in the mirror in a kind of way. But after I make a piece, I stare at it for so long where I just start picking out certain things, and I guess that in a way also tells me something about myself, of just trying to not be so critical of my own work and try to be a friend to myself. So that's how I try to look at it when I'm creating art too.
The world is your oyster when it comes to art. So talk to us about the mediums. I know you said you do drawing, and at IA, you get to pretty much do almost everything. Talk to us about the type of expression or genres that influence your movements and your creative process.
Yeah, I've been drawing since I was like a small little girl. I can't even remember, but I've been drawing for a really long time, and that's definitely one of my stronger assets, I'd say. But definitely, like, everything I do create and put effort into, it's all kind of connected in one way or another. My photography, that's kind of different because it's like I'm not in Samoa, so I can't really take pictures. So I'm still experimenting with that and like self-portraiture. But that kind of takes me into like a different perspective, I guess, of what's around me. And I guess in a way how I do still incorporate those views into the images that I create. I also do printmaking, which I've been it's been a new interest, so I've been experimenting with that, and I really love it, and I want to go further with it and see what else I can create. I have done a little bit of work with like sculpture and land, and that's, I mean, obviously it's like 3D, so it's way different than just planning out like a 2D image. But I enjoy that as well because it's, I guess sculpture-wise, like incorporating the land and just getting your hands dirty, to me, it's kind of like therapeutic.
Great. And you mentioned that your family have a restaurant in Page, Arizona. Being that your family are Samoans, is that the flavor of the restaurant? Have you worked there, learned there? Are you a chef yourself? Is that maybe something you might aspire to be as well as another artistic form of expression?
Well, my dad's a chef, and since I was little, like he's also an artist with food. He loves to experiment, and he does like cultural fusion type of cuisine, so it's always mixed and really creative. And when you look at his plates, they're beautiful. And even my mom can bake and cook as well. So I got the best of both worlds with my parents, and just them also teaching me like the medicinal qualities of having good food and what that does to your body. And so, yeah, I mean, the family restaurant, when I worked there, I was a bartender. My whole family worked there. All my siblings contributed, and both my parents are there. And so it just feels how it feels at home, where my dad's in the kitchen, my mom's bossing him around, and we're just laughing, making jokes, listening to music, and taste testing along the way. So those are some of the perks of just kind of growing up in a restaurant style type of family, and that even extends to my grandparents on both sides. So food is such a huge aspect of our family, and when we get together and just having a good meal together really brings you, like, bonds you. And I really cherish those moments whenever I am spending time with my family. And when I cook at home for me and my husband, like, I try to, now as an adult, I'm like, wow, I should have really paid attention to when my dad was cooking in the kitchen. But at the same time, he was kind of one of those people who was like, no, just get out. Like, let me do my thing. Like, he doesn't want anyone to bother him, which I respect that because I'm kind of the same, like, in that way as an artist. So, but he has been sending some recipes, so I've been cooking a lot more, and same thing, I try to just give that same experience to whoever I'm cooking for, of like, you want a beautiful plate, you want it to smell good, you want it to look good, and it feeds their soul and it makes them feel at home. And yeah, I love food, so my dad definitely, he's made me try some weird things, because I feel like when your dad says, oh, this is the best part, it's like a no-brainer, of course I'm gonna try that. But it'll be like, I don't know, like something weird that I don't even know what it is, but nonetheless, he's always been right. So every time I have tried it, it's like, yeah, no, this is the best part. So
What a blessing. Are you able to, or is your mom and dad able to bring taro root into the restaurant and incorporate that into some of the dishes? Because I know in Samoa, a meal did not happen without that root that I think it took the place of bread, maybe, but it was just that root you pull out of the ground, and there's a whole art to it. I was really impressed, and I really liked it too. But I don't think they sell them in stores here, do they?
there's actually a Samoan-owned store in St. George, Utah. It's called CJ Evelina. Shout out. They have taro leaves, and they have a bunch of different Samoan like vegetables, snacks, food, even attire. And so it's really nice to just go in there and have a little bit of Samoa in a place that's way, miles and miles away from it. But yeah, sometimes they'll make trips out there and grab stuff to incorporate that into like specials. Because my dad, when he goes all out on a special, he goes all out. He puts his heart, his soul, his sweat, his tears. Well, not into the food, but you get what I mean. So yeah, they do. Like I said, he does like mixed cultural fusion cuisine. So he will incorporate stuff from like Indian cuisine or Japanese cuisine, because he was trained by a Japanese chef, and mixing that with like island flavors. So it's really cool. And yeah, it's always a treat when I go home and he gets to cook for us.
So where do we find this restaurant when we go to Page, Arizona? What's the name of it? And what's the best dish to order, in your opinion?
Well, it's called Sunset 89 in Page, Arizona. Dang, that's a hard one. Favorite? Okay, well, if you're a first timer and you're going to Sunset 89 and you like savory food, I'll definitely say get the Calbee fries. It's just this giant pile of goodness and flavor, and it just has like, of course, like Calbee, it's really hearty, like a greasy food, like kind of a, what's it called, anyways. But really, I mean, I'm not being biased, but everything there is really great. So yeah, you can't really order anything that tastes bad, but I would definitely recommend that, because that's kind of a little bit more different, although there are like a lot of things on the menu that you wouldn't really find anywhere else.
Well, I definitely want to drive all the way to Page to eat in your family restaurant, and you can ride with me, and I can drive. We'll stop by Arnetta's on the way.
Deal.
Definitely. So as we're moving towards the end of this portion of our questions, because I'm sure your family is going to want to come in and say hi, and maybe some other people from IA want to come in and ask you some questions. How does your Samoan heritage influence your art style and creative process? And I think people don't really realize that there's two Samoas. There's an American Samoa and there's a Samoa. Do you have relatives on both sides? How does that look and how does that work?
Yes, I have relatives on both sides. On my dad's side, my paternal grandmother, she's from Samoa. My grandpa on my dad's side is from American Samoa. And I've never been to Samoa, but from what my grandma always says is better than American Samoa. In her opinion, she's really particular about how the difference is, and she'll tease my grandpa of like how people eat in American Samoa, and yeah, but as far as how it influences like my art style and creative process, it really is kind of like the main foundation of what I try to pull out of. Like everything that as far as since I've been at IA, every time I'm making a piece, I'm like, okay, how can I incorporate this into my Samoan culture? I start thinking about like architecture, food, plants, the attire, language, just any sort of like piece to incorporate into that, because that really means a lot to me and that's a huge part of who I am, and I want people who look at my art to know that that's who I am, and that there will always be a like kind of a component of my culture in my art always.
That's awesome. I think that's absolutely beautiful. So here's Earth. This is the representation. This is where we're at right here. And this is where Samoa is down there. And your ancestors are from there. And they came over here. And you met a guy named Montana and fell in love and married him. So you merge together the northern and southern hemispheres with your love to make a full circle around Mother Earth. How does it feel to be married to a traditional, amazing Dene man named Montana? How does that feel?
It feels really empowering, to be honest. He is so, I admire him so much for like the way he speaks and how he puts his heart out there, and that's something that I try to do as well when I'm, trying to teach someone something or have a conversation. And so just blending our cultures together, there definitely has been some hills and challenges, but nonetheless, like we've been able to overcome those and blend our cultures in a really unique and beautiful way. And I feel really grateful because his family is very supportive of us, and they're always teaching me words, foods, just traditional ideas and things, chores. They took me wood hauling for my first time ever. That was fun. Like, I used to hear people talk about it like it was really hard. I mean, it was a lot of labor, but I think because I was there with him and his family, I just really was soaking up all of that and was really enjoying myself and just being out in nature. I thought it was so cool to do that as a family event, as a thing. I'd never done that before. And yeah, he's always teaching me new things every single day about his culture while he's learning as well. So he's in that same mindset that I was speaking about earlier of just learning this information and teaching it and sharing it with others, and it kind of like anchors it down. And so that just gives both of us all the more reason to do what we're doing and why we conduct ourselves the way we are and why we're so family oriented, because that's definitely really big for both of us, is spending time with our family and being there with them, like regardless of whatever may be happening. That time is invaluable and you can never replace that. And so any opportunity there is to make a trip and make good memories, that's worth everything to both of us.
Last question. What does family in Navajo, okay? How do you say family in Samoan?
Aina.
Aina?
Aina.
Aina. What does that mean to you? I mean, you just said it, but I mean, not just biological, but in terms of like family of choice, and what does that mean to you in a broader sense?
Yeah, I feel that Aina incorporates the idea of extended family, of, choosing, like you said, choosing your family members, and they don't need to be blood related, that it's a feeling thing, it's a trust connection that you have, a care and love that you have for another individual, and feeling kind of like protective. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of people in my family that I call auntie, uncle, cousin, sister, who aren't by law those things, but by Indigenous law they are those things, and that qualifies, and that's just as valid. So yeah, just making the most out of that quality time spent and leaving with that feeling of like just a heartwarming feeling of having spent with your family, or even reconnecting with family members I haven't seen in years. It just really like sparks that feel of like, oh, I want to come back here again, and I just want to, I want to keep up to date with how you're doing. And I can't believe this much time has passed by, because that's another thing, is time just goes by just like that in a blink of an eye. And so really taking advantage of these moments while our relatives are still here, because anything could happen, you know what I mean? And so yeah, life is just too short to not live your life.
That's right. So thank you so much, Tessema. You are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to pass it on to your auntie, Elena, who is Samoan and Maori. Give it up, Elena.
Well, thank you, Tash. Talofa Tessema, thank you so much for blessing us in this wisdom circle with all that you shared. And also, with our theme this year being family, Aina, Whānau, and as Tash is Dene, is exactly that. I'm going to quickly go through our little commercial break, because I know we've got a lot of your family that are here, and that's really what it's about for us this year, whether it is through blood, but bringing our communities together through food, through entertainment, and all that we do. So thank you so much for blessing us. I want to say this because it's something that I'm so proud of. Jessama's husband, Montana with an intern, just finished his internship with us, and he wanted to chop wood and haul water. And so we took him out to the reservation. And on one of those trips, Tessema came with us. And for me, I was just so thrilled. We took a photo in the car coming back from the reservation. That's the Navajo reservation. And I said to my sister, and I said, "Hey, sis, look at this. There's 2 Samoans in the car." Now, she was just here very recently, and so she had also been there as well. And she got such a kick out of it. Probably more so I did, because it's just so great for me connecting with you, Tessema. So thank you so much. Thank you for bringing in your wisdom. We're going to go to a little commercial break, and then we're going to invite everyone in. And so this happens each month. We've got the Wisdom Circle. Same time, same channel, same place. We started on the 1st of April 2020 when COVID hit. We've been very blessed to support over 200 Indigenous, Native American, deaf and hard of hearing, and our rainbow presenters through this format. And we continue to do that. So next month, being March the 19th, please mark your calendars and join us for a very inspiring session with Dana Tiger, who is an award-winning artist, international artist at that, and proud member of the Muskogee Nation. She also has Seminole and Cherokee heritage. I want to give a shout out to her amazing sister that we've got in the house at the moment, Lisa Tiger. Both of them have Parkinson's, and they both just came back from Sundance Film Festival because they have this amazing 20-minute short documentary called Tiger, which also picked up Best Director at the Sundance. So we're looking forward to having a conversation with Dana, and who'll be talking about her art, her amazing family, and she has been, both Lisa and Dana, deeply influenced by her father, Jerome Tiger. Really, really amazing. So put the date down. We want to see you here. And if you want to share this amazing footage with your peeps, it's going to be available next week. You can go to our website, IndigenousWays.org, and there in the virtual library, our video library, you'll see all the amazing presenters that we have hosted over this time, including the beautiful Tessema, who will be in there as well. And while you're there, please join and subscribe to our newsletter, which we put out once or twice a month. And then below me, you'll see zapping all our social media pages. So if you have one of those, please subscribe and like those pages. That really helps us out. Also with us, we have the beautiful Crescenciano Garcia Jr., and also you saw before the beautiful Mariah Garcia, no relation. All of our shows have ASL interpreters. They are also free, so it's really access to everyone. I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsors, the City of Santa Fe Arts and Culture Department, as well as the National Endowment of the Arts and the New Mexico Music Commission. We have online a number of board members who are here. Thank you, our Indigenous Ways board, and also those people who have contributed to our donations. If you're able to give, We have on our website a donate page. We have PayPal, Venmo, and also there's the snail mail. And if you can't, we're just grateful that you're here with us. But all of that support is about making this accessible, keeping all of our programs going. This year we're collaborating with the Institute of American Indian Arts that Tessema mentioned, where she is a student at. And we're collaborating in a film project. We'll tell you more about that in our next month. Very excited about that. We've also got several festivals that we're doing, and then this monthly Indigenous Ways Wisdom Circle. So we want to see you, whether it be online or in person, is really, really fabulous. Also, too, our Wisdom Circle in May will be going live, so we'll be having live audience if you're in Santa Fe, New Mexico. If you're around the country or overseas, you can still join us through this platform, but we're going to be going into the Vital Spaces Theatre, which will be opening very soon, and we're excited about that. So anyway, I've talked enough. I'm going to invite everyone in. You can turn on your camera, and if you have any questions, thoughts, comments for the beautiful Tessema, Tash, if you're about, you can come back in. And then everyone, if you want to know where all this stuff is on your Zoom, at the bottom left-hand corner, if you click down there, you'll see an icon with a video or your microphone. If you are feeling a little bit shy, throw a question in the chat there for us. Now, Donna, you're first up, and so while people are trying to join us, is there anything that you want to say? There, you finally got on a little.
Yeah, I have to say, having been a fan of your wisdom circles since 2020, I always learn something new, interesting, a different aspect of the world, the way people look at it, and it really helps build my heart even bigger. And I just so love you so much for providing this opportunity.
Thanks so much for being on, Donna. Tash.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of beautiful people I see here tonight. Let's start with Laura. Hey, Laura, what's up?
This is Laura speaking. Hello. I just want to make sure the sound is working. I'm using my iPad, so I don't know how to do that. I'm kind of a mess right now. But either way, I don't have any questions, but I am very grateful for sharing your story, Tessema. It's very heart-touching. And again, I'm very grateful for you sharing. Thank you.
This is Tasha's voice. Tessema actually got a sign name from Arletta. Arletta, you gave Tessema a sign name last week, or 2 weeks ago, right? Samoan with a T. See, there's Arletta. She gave Tessema an official sacred sign name. So this is Tessema. Samoan with a T. Yay! Good to see you. Speaking of which, Arletta, thanks for being here. How are you doing, Arletta? Did you like the show?
This is Arletta. Are you talking to me? Oh, sorry about that. Yes, definitely. I really enjoy seeing your host. I enjoy seeing the parents too. I like going to the restaurant and having the food. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your family, and thank you for sharing your stories.
Let's do it, Arletta. This is Tosh. Let's take a ride to Page and go visit Tessema's family and eat the food in their restaurant. Awesome. All right, let's go on down the list here, and I see Kelemeke. Did I say that right? Kelemeke. Do you want to say something?
Sure. I'm Tessa's brother, the handsome one. Just wanted to say, love you, sis. Proud of you. Yeah.
Aw, thank you. Love you too.
Nama A, our little sister Rachel, based in DC. What's up, Rachel? Thanks for being here.
Hi, good evening. I'm just chiming in. I'm feeling a little not good with my words right now. So thank you for everything, all of you. Thank you.
Okay, Shells. Sue Raven Warrior, what's up? And then after Sue, we'll go to Sawia.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much. I love these circles, and I just want to say that Tessema, what I was impressed by is your learning. Everything you talked about was what you learned, and then also your teaching. And I think that that's a wonderful way to go through life, because if I'm learning something, I have to be open to something new or different. And I think that it's like so much more interesting that way, if nothing else. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely agree.
All right, Sawia, did you want to say something? I saw you a moment ago. Hey, Sawia.
Hi, my name's Mena. I'm Tess's oldest sister. Proud of you, sis. You're doing an amazing job. We love you. It's your nephew and your niece.
Hello.
Bye, Tess.
Thank you so much. All right, well, you know what? If there's not anybody else that wants to say anything, I guess we can call it a night, and let's give it up for our ASL interpreters, Chris and Mariah, for making access available for our beautiful deaf and hard of hearing, Indigenous, and all other cultures. Thank you, Mariah and Chris. We love you so much. And we also want to give a very special shout out to Tessema, who is a courageous, amazing, beautiful, powerful young woman that goes to the Institute of American Indian Arts, and we're looking forward to following you and seeing your artistic development as you go along. We are here for you. If you ever need us, we are here for you. Just pick up the phone and move your fingers, and we will be there for you, okay? Because between here and Page, it's about 6 hours, so.
Oh,
Okay, well, Montana's telling us, Montana's sitting right here, he's saying that's your grandparent, so.
so beautiful.
Sister,
Love it.
good to have Montana right here telling us everything, so I can't hear you.
So proud. So
Beautiful granddaughter, we love you.
really.
Let's hear your new song. Let it go. Let it be. Let it go. Let's hear your new song.